Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today I'm hanging out with Pinky.
It's your girl, Pinky.
How you doing, Pinky?
I'm great. Life is good.
Life is good.
Life is good.
It's good. It's been had a good week last week with my son. We'll get into that in a little bit if you'd like. For those of you who listened to the last episode, hopefully I didn't put you to sleep. I was talking kind of in a lower tone because my son was just, I was on the patio and he was just on the other side of the patio door sleeping.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to keep my voice low. And apparently I did put one listener to sleep. I want to do a shout out here real quick, and I probably should have had this prep, but I didn't think about it until now, so I'm doing this on the fly. But I want to give a shout out to, oh my God, how far back in it? Listener J. Robert Campbell from the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners Group. He spent a couple of days with his son at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, and he tried listening to Friday's show on two separate occasions, but both times my soothing voice helped him fall right asleep on the pull-out sofa. And he said he would have felt bad if I wouldn't have ended the show by making a comment about how the episode was like Dramamine, which provided some needed relief. So anyway, Robert, we hope that everything is cool with your son. You said that,
sure.
He's doing okay, but, obviously a couple days at Children's, that's never anybody's idea of a fun time. So hopefully that all worked out fine. And, I'm glad my soothing tones could be of assistance to you. Maybe that's what I'll have to do. I'll have to put out some sort of ASMR thing.
Yes.
That way I can just be like, take the cigar and clip the end, light it gingerly, pulling the flame.
That is anti-ASMR for me right now. I'm cracking up.
Anyway, so speaking of a cigar, let's get a cigar going. So we are smoking today.
I'm excited about this one.
The Terra Dark Fired Kentucky. And the description from United Cigars, because this is, part of the portfolio at United Cigar Group. The Dark Fired Kentucky, even the name tastes exceptional. Tobacco created from a tradition going back for centuries, cured to perfection in Kentucky. In a special wood-fired drying process, the tobacco is hung in barns above smoldering oak and hickory wood. It's an excitingly different tobacco composition. This cigar, we are smoking the Toro, which is 5 7/8 by 54. Features an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, binder of Bahia and Sumatra, and filler consisting of Dominican, Nicaraguan, Brazilian, and dark-fired Kentucky tobacco.
Had I known this was on tap for this morning, I would have poured a little bourbon to go with this, even though it's early.
I was going to say it's before noon, so, I'd have to make fun of you.
Do we live in a judgment zone? Is this what I'm getting here? No, I didn't think so.
Well, it's true. I don't know. I don't know what you got going today. Screw it. Whatever. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get this thing cut and lit. And the official cutting is brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company. Guys, Dan the Man Ponder, he's getting in all kinds of great stuff from his PCA orders here. And if you didn't notice on Instagram, he just got in a massive order of Aladino cigars. So if you're looking for Aladino, make sure you swing by Riverman Cigar Company because he's got plenty of those. But he also got in the new thing from EP Carrillo. Before I go too far, I probably ought to actually know what I'm talking about there as well. He got in the short run limited edition from EPC. So, there's all kinds of great stuff coming in at Riverman Cigar Company. And the best part is, if you're in the St. Louis area, you can swing by. If you're not in the St. Louis area, he does mail orders. So you can give him a call and have cigars shipped to you right away. Miss Cindy would be happy to take care of you. Or at least she'll say she's happy to take care of you. She is. She's just going to give you a lot of grief for it. But that's just Miss Cindy. If she's making fun of you, she likes you.
For sure.
That's the way that works.
Yep. Otherwise, peace out.
Exactly. So, anyway, Riverman Cigar Company, Crestwood, Missouri. Let them be your brick and mortar. So it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar.
I'm going to borrow your V-cut cutter.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Mine is not in my it's not in my bag today.
You did not come
I did not prepare.
Prepared. Okay.
Which is pretty unlike me.
It is a little unlike you. Okay. When's the last time you had a cigar?
A month ago?
Okay.
It hasn't been terrible.
Not terrible.
That's a solid one.
Certainly not great.
No, I know. Nope. Well, it's been an adventurous month around here.
Yeah.
We had some pretty bad storms
a
week ago, and in our whole city, my street was by far hit the worst. We've got roof damage, fence damage. My neighbor 3 houses down
I don't know.
literally has no fence.
There we go.
And that's not mine. That's my neighbor's.
No,
that's the shared.
Yeah, there's all kinds of fence damage. Like you guys can see it
the night that it happened.
On the YouTube there.
The night that it happened, 9 o'clock, everything was fine.
Yeah.
9:30, it starts raining, and within 10 seconds, this huge gust of wind came through. It took down 7 trees in our neighborhood. 7, just on our street, not even in our whole neighborhood. But you can see, that's our master bathroom up there.
Yeah.
From there, I could look out and see 3 different roads that were blocked. And my neighbor north of here, his entire fence fell down. And even in the rain, you could hear people coming over this hill here, popping their tires on the nails because the fence was in the middle of the street. I mean, it was like every.
Oh my god!
It was bad.
Oh my god!
So we've been working to get the house fixed up and back in working order.
Okay.
And then yesterday, the smoker's sitting there. We tried to smoke some meat, and I don't know if the heating element is broken or what, but that kept tripping literally every electrical outlet in our house. So
well, that sucks.
That's not working.
Wonder if the guys over at Smoking Butts and Tapping Ash know a little bit about that.
But we went ahead and ordered.
I don't know if they have a.
Javier ordered a new heating element and then the plug thing.
Okay.
So we're going to try that. But then you got here this morning, and what did I tell you about the garage door?
Garage door's not working.
It's broken. It won't go
down.
But
at least it's stuck up. That way your cars weren't trapped.
That's true. That's true.
That would suck.
Right, but now do we go to bed? I mean, if I can't get this fixed, after we're done here, I got to go out there, get up on the ladder, and I'm trying to.
You should be able to drop the door.
Well, the door's what's broken. It's so there's these 3 beams, and it's that middle beam it's supposed to be bend a certain way, but it's bent the other way.
Oh.
So, and that happened after the storm, which is weird. The garage door was down during the storm. I don't know. That next morning we tried to open it. It only opened 18 inches, so we put it back down. Hit it again, and it opened back up, but it's been like popping every time we open it since then. And this morning it was just like, meh, I'm done. Not gonna go down. So it's been fun.
Probably gonna have somebody look at that. So on the cold draw, it's kind of a nice, kind of creamy-ish kind of thing going on there.
Ooh, that's good.
A Connecticut wrapper has a nice.
It just smells so good.
Kind of creamy-ish thing going on.
I think I'm a little biased because
the Kentucky.
I have a family connection to Kentucky, and I love that state.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm getting this thing fired up. Car.
Same.
Anyway, so it's been busy.
It has.
It's been busy.
It's been good though. We've I've made some more time for fun.
Good.
The last couple weeks.
Good.
I have said no to things. We've gone to a couple Cardinals games.
Yeah.
We've gone out to dinner a lot more. Like, I usually plan, we'll go out Thursday night, and then Tuesday night I'll roll around and Javier will be like, hey, we should go out tonight. I'm like, yes.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Well, my kid turns 13 coming up, and so we're doing like 13 days up to 13.
Yeah.
And each day is a life lesson.
Okay.
And as I was planning this and writing out all the life lessons, I'm like, this is like I'm giving him advice that I don't take myself. Like, live life to the fullest. Say yes when fun comes along. And then I don't do that. So I feel like that's been the catalyst for.
Okay. Well, see,
it's been fun.
That's good. You're learning something while trying to teach your son something.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah. No, I spent some time with Max this past week, which, like I said, the listeners, they know from Friday's show, but it was a good week. It was relatively chill. It was one of those things, I think I mentioned it on the last cast, how, coming into the week, I was kind of stressed because I'm like, I don't really have much planned. And, it's like when you have a week, you want to, like, just plan out every day and just be like,
Yes.
I want something fun. Yeah, this is going to be a great week. We're going to do something
Every
really
day's got to be level 10.
fun and badass
Yeah.
every day. And it's like, all he wanted to do was go to the pool.
Yep.
All he wanted to do was go to the pool. And he wanted, his Qdoba bowls. And he wanted to, read and watch his cartoons and whatnot.
That's perfect.
And it's like, you know what? We just took it easy for a week and had a good time. And it was fun.
That's
it
awesome.
was a good
And you had
week.
good weather to do that, too. It's
We
been
did.
really nice.
It's been
It was
warm.
humid those couple days. It was
but in the pool I didn't mind too bad. This week's going to be freaking stupid hot, and it would be a good week to hit the pool a lot this week, but which is why we're recording early in the morning today. But that's all right, so.
Would you ever go to the pool? Because it's your community's pool. Would you ever go without Max? I mean, you bought the pass.
I bought the pass. I mean, I guess I could go without him. It's not like I wouldn't, but I don't know.
Just doesn't cross your mind.
Not really.
No.
I just do other things. So, I'll be honest. All right. I'm going to sound kind of elitist, a little snobby here for a moment. I'm not a fan of community pools. I like private pools.
Okay.
Ideally, I would like my own private pool so that I know exactly what the situation there is. But I feel like community pools are almost like community toilets.
Yeah.
Because you have to figure.
Yeah.
With the
all the
20
kids.
to 25 people in there, all the kids and everything. You're not seeing all these people getting out and running to the bathroom on a regular basis. So you know that there's probably a fair percentage of urine in that water. And so with that being said, I would have much preferred a private pool.
Well, you're the one that introduced me to that app.
Swimply?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you used it yet?
I haven't used it yet because the thing is, the pass for the community pool was, enough that I wanted to maximize my dollars there. Now, the community pool closes fairly early, which I guess this has to do with staffing. They're closing August 13th, and all the kids.
Yeah, when you've got all the lifeguards are high
they're
school
all high
or
school
college.
And so they're all going back to school. So whatever. So there's an entire month basically, because typically pools close Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the city pool closes.
So I figure there's an entire month between August 13th and Labor Day, essentially. Not quite, maybe.
2.5 weeks.
A couple weeks. To where I should be able to still get some swimming time in. So I might use Swimply then. But
I'm glad you mentioned that, and we're talking about this now, because you had told me about it, I think, last year.
Yeah.
And I did some, looking at local pools, and there are some really good ones within, a 10-mile.
Super nice ones.
That are not crazy expensive to rent.
No.
And I've thought that would be a great, end of summer, from our kid and a couple of his friends to, rent out someone else's pool and go hang out.
There's one near me. It's $50 an hour, but it's really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
But, I found ones that are as low as $18 an hour,
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever. You just go. And let's be real. You're swimming. When my son and I went up to the community pool, if we were there 2 hours tops, that was the max. I mean, most of the time it was an hour and a half.
Yes.
About 90 minutes was about perfect.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. You spend $36 total if you want, and you get a couple hours of private pool time.
Yep.
I mean, I'm fine with that. But
Same.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, normally I would have gone that route, but it worked out but the community pool is really nice. It actually ended up being very nice, and Max loves it, and so
he was ready to go every day.
Oh, he would change into his swim trunks
first thing
on his own to tell me, "Hey, it's time to go to the pool." So, I mean, he was not subtle in any way, shape, or form about his desire to go swimming. So, I don't know. Whatever. Yep. But anyway.
This cigar is very good.
Yeah? Are you getting any of that kind of Kentucky Fire? See, Kentucky Fire cured tobacco, it tends to add that element of campfire to a cigar.
Yes.
And what's nice about this one is I'm not getting like
it's not overwhelming.
Bowled over with that. I mean, some of those, most of those Kentucky Fire cured cigars, you get them and like that's all you get.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm not getting that.
This is a really good blend of that. Like you can still taste that, but it's like really creamy too. I like it. I'll have to put this in my spreadsheet.
Little,
yeah, right?
Little spice to the retro hail there. Just a little bit.
Did you intentionally retro?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. That was an intentional one. Yeah, it was there. So, anyway, yeah, so that's what I've had going on this past week.
So are you in decompress mode now? Because I know it's mentally exhausting when you're solely entirely responsible for another human.
Well,
24 hours a day.
Oh my God, 7 years old, it's just a little bundle of energy. Running around. And so, yes, I'm kind of in decompress mode. My problem, though, is that for that week, I did everything I could to push work off.
Yeah.
It's like I did not want to screw around with any work. I didn't want to mess around with any sort of stuff that would distract me away from my week. And so I pushed a lot of stuff off. And so now this week I'm playing catch up very, very hard. And I hate that feeling more than anything. I hate the feeling of playing catch up and being behind on stuff. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of that at all. Somehow or another, I need to become either independently wealthy or be able to get paid enough doing this that I can just do this and call it a day.
Not worry about the other stuff.
I don't know how that's going to happen, but I don't know unless all the listeners want to start a Patreon or whatever it is. I mean, but that seems like a lot of work too. I've looked at that. I've actually looked at Patreon because I've had some listeners ask about it. And I know some other podcasts that have done it and everything, but it just seems like such a lot of work.
Well, and for how much, if people are willing, $5 a month as a listener is like, well, yeah, okay, maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
But the number of those that you need to make the content worth it, right?
Well, it's not even making the content worth it. It's the fact that you have to. I feel as though I would have to provide additional content in order
for sure.
to do
That's
that.
what I mean. Yeah.
And the problem that I have with that is I'm already doing 2 episodes a week.
Right.
So it's like, what else can I do? You know? And what else do I have time to do? And that's the problem is I don't have time, and I don't know what else I could do that I'm not already doing.
Right. I mean, you're already putting out premiere content twice a week.
Twice a week. I don't know about premiere, but, do you
have anything left in the bag for a Patreon episode?
That's my point. I don't have anything left in the bag for Patreon. So it's like, basically, it's like, hey, I'm going to keep doing what I'm already doing, but just give me money for it. And I just that doesn't feel, that feels cheap to me. I'm not down for that.
Yeah.
So I haven't gone. And also, it just, I don't know. It feels. It's just not. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the idea.
It's not your bag.
No, there's a lot to it that it just feels like it just isn't. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having trouble articulating on a spoken word podcast. I'm having trouble articulating why I don't like Patreon, but it just I don't.
It's probably just a feeling, just like a gut feeling. Like nope.
It's like I don't charge for obituaries in my newspaper.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those things where I just feel ghoulish doing that, In this case, I just feel like, I've been doing this long enough that if I were to suddenly come out with a Patreon now, it's like, hey, I'm not going to do any more than what I'm already doing, and you're going to get the same level of what you're already getting, but now give me money for it. It's just kind of, I don't know. I feel like
you don't have to convince me. You're talking to someone. I routinely give away my services,
yeah.
which did not come out the way I had hoped it to.
I was going to say, that might have to get added to the soundboard. Flag the tape on that one. But, yeah.
No, but, I routinely will say yes to
things.
And in some cases, I'm quite certain people expect me to charge, and I don't. I'm like, oh, no, I'll show up and do this workshop. Yeah, I get it.
No, it happens. But anyway.
So now you're playing catch-up this week.
Now I'm playing catch-up this week, and it's busy. It's busy, but
I feel like we've sort of flip-flop lives because, this week is busy for me in terms of, my evenings are pretty much, I've got stuff every evening, but when it gets to be about 3 weeks before school starts, this is the first year. So last year at this time, I sat down and blocked my calendar.
Yeah.
Literally if I showed you right now, it would say, do not overbook yourself.
Yeah.
Because I forget that in my mind, I've thought, school starts on a certain day. So that's when the crazy starts, but really it doesn't. School supplies, and I don't know if you know the school supply list.
No, it feels like July 4th. Feels like once you cross July 4th, that's the end of summer.
Yes.
Like it feels like summer kind of comes to an end on July 5th.
Yep. And
it doesn't, but
it feels
that's
like
when
it, yes.
all the back to school shit starts coming out. That's when you're gearing up for that. And I don't know, maybe maybe I'm wrong. Is school starting sooner than it used to?
No, it's starting the same.
It doesn't feel like school used to start in mid-August like that. It felt like it was later in August.
That I don't remember.
I don't know. It just
when
felt
we
like
were in school, I don't remember.
It felt like it started later.
I know on the East Coast they start after Labor Day. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. But they go until
that's really
the
late,
second week in June.
Okay.
But it has to do with a lot of the houses out east don't have air conditioning, and schools don't have air conditioners. They might have window units.
So that makes sense.
So they've got to wait.
Interesting.
But yeah, so last year at this time, I remember being so upset with myself for not giving myself the ability to enjoy the last couple weeks of summer with, the kiddo home and whatever. So I went into my calendar back then and marked out the days. Do not book stuff, do not do stuff. And I've generally held to that. So I feel like the next couple weeks, although I have things, it's not as
bad,
as crazy.
Well,
and we've, like I said, we've sprinkled in fun stuff. We're going we've already been to a couple professional games. We're going to a couple minor league games here.
Yeah.
We're having fun. We did the Kids Bowl free. We signed up for that, and kiddo's really been getting into that. So we're heading to the bowling alley.
That's good.
Later today before meetings later. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. So, see,
I feel like you and I have switched.
Summer, yeah, I know.
You've got all this work and all
this crap to do and whatnot, but
you're wearing the weight of responsibility, and this week I'm like,
whatever. That's true. I'm used to being the one that's all fun and fancy free and just fucking around. And
I kind of like this.
But,
let's permanently trade.
See, well, no, I don't know about permanently trade, but see, it kind of feels like there's the creepings of Corona Pinky.
Oh yeah,
coming back out. I had to change the name there to protect the the topic.
Oh yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like there was Corona Pinky who just kind of lived and then
existed,
and then Corona
great.
ended, and then it's like now we're back to being busy. So
yeah,
that needs to.
I'm happy to report that I've done better recently. So
that's good.
I'll take that.
That's good. Anyway, I'm just happy that I actually was able to get the recording done today because I was telling you I had this very bizarre, very vivid dream last night that all my recording shit was stolen.
Which would be terrible.
I had this dream that my car was broken into, that I had the bag with all the recording stuff in it, and that I lost the board, the headsets, my iPad, everything. And that I was going to have to then turn around and reorder all of that stuff and whatever. Which, not to I'm not bragging, and I'm not pointing out to, any potential thieves that might, happen to be randomly listening to this and decide, I'm going to go steal his shit. But, with the headsets and the board, that's,
Yeah, what's the price tag on
that's
it?
$1,000. Plus you had the iPad in there. There's another $500. Plus you had that janky-ass tripod. By the way, for those of you who are listening, if you're looking for a quality tripod, the last one I would recommend is anything by Joby, Joby. It's the freaking brand at Best Buy, and I bought this one. I had one, and that broke. That was janky as shit, and it broke. So then I went to Best Buy to get a new tripod, and they had this one. It's the same brand, but it's much nicer. The metal and, extended legs and all this shit and everything. And I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I'm going to give this one a try. This one looks a lot better. Super happy with it until Thursday night when I'm recording on my patio doing the Dramamine episode.
Yeah.
And I would go to extend out one of the legs, and the freaking leg just falls right out.
How long have you had it?
I don't know. I bought that this year.
Oh, wow.
But the problem is, when for something like this, I got rid of the box. I got rid of the receipts.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I need all that shit for? It's just paperwork sitting around and everything. So I can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
So I can use it as a tabletop because right now it's on a table and it's, whatever. But if I had to extend out, only those two legs have legs that'll extend out. This one, the leg fell out.
Dang.
So, Joby.
Do better.
It's a piece of shit. Anyway. But where was I going with that?
Your dream.
Oh, yeah. So I lost everything and had to replace it. And so, episodes didn't come out on time. I was out, $1,500-$1,600 worth of equipment and whatever else. So
that wasn't a dream. That sounds like a nightmare.
yeah, it was definitely not a pleasant dream experience. But it's what I had.
So that got
last
us
night.
talking about dreams.
Yes.
Before we hit the record button.
Yes. And you had some interesting ones.
This was a reoccurring dream too. So I had a dream back in the day several times where I was dating a seal, like the water.
Like a Navy SEAL?
No. You would think that would be it.
Yeah.
No, the animal. And
wait, like the dog? Like the sea dog?
Yes. That I was dating a seal.
Okay.
And we went to a water park because, where do you go with seals? The water park.
Water parks.
And we got separated, so I went to the top of the highest water slide, and to find my boyfriend, started going,
Oh, guys. I wish to God that was on camera because she was literally doing that, like with the hands and everything.
So to have that dream.
How did that go again?
Nah, we're done.
That'll get added to the soundboard, too.
To have that dream once was one thing. For
Yeah.
it to be a recurring dream, I don't know how I feel about that. I also had a dream.
So is Javier's spirit animal a seal by chance?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
You should look into that.
I don't know.
That'd be funny.
He has some very...
Would that not be a bizarre twist of fate?
If
his spirit animal was a seal.
How do you know what your spirit animal
Fuck,
is?
I don't know. Some like Indian guide or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I probably just offended a whole group of people there. But but I don't know. But yeah, if you could find out if his spirit animal is a seal, would that not be just bizarre?
He has some very interesting thoughts on dreams themselves.
Yeah.
Like how you can't or you shouldn't. You can tell other people your dreams, but that your dreams are a manifestation of your perspective and things that have happened to you or concerns that you have, and that doesn't translate, you're going to interpret my dream very differently based on your experience and so it's almost like you can share dreams, but in terms of dream interpreters, he's like, no, I don't think that's a thing because there's no consistent theme.
I don't know.
Among dreamers, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's your subconscious
That's
talking
exactly.
to you, right?
It's your subconscious working through things. So
what's my subconscious telling me about losing all my equipment?
That would be the last thing that you need in your life right now.
Or the first thing I need in my life right now.
I like it. Putting that positive spin on it.
Well, not for all the listeners that are actually enjoying my shenanigans.
So the long and the short of it is, how does that go?
Yeah, long and short.
Someone's going to steal your shit in real life, and then you're going to have to start a Patreon. That's what I'm getting out of this episode. To bring it full circle.
I need a board, guys. I need a board.
To circle back.
Actually, I will say, this is one of those, I don't need it, but I see it, and I get, ooh, I want that kind of thing.
A new board. I know there's one you've picked out.
Yeah, well, so, Dave over at the Smoking Butts and Tappin' Ash, he got it, and he was playing with it, and I saw his, and he was showing me all the buttons and what all it does and everything, and it's actually pretty smooth. The only thing I don't like about it is that, so you see how the headset plug directly into the board.
Yeah.
So with his, the headset plugs are smaller than that, and so you'd have to buy adapters to plug the headset
that you currently own
from exactly into the adapter into the board, and so it's like an extra piece,
yes.
and it makes that like really freaking tall.
Yeah.
So like I'm not the biggest fan of that, but what's really nice is so like okay, I'm gonna a little behind the scenes here. So for all the listeners that are watching on YouTube, but also for those people who are listening, you can go to YouTube and see this.
BTS.
I use my phone as the soundboard. So this is how, I have all the drops for the various commercials, things of that nature, whatever. I have it all, on my phone, and I plug that into the board. That's why when we do interviews on Zoom, I have to plug the iPad into the board to pull the audio from the Zoom interview into the board for the audio version of the podcast. But that's right now my board has, depending upon, with either an iPad or an iPhone plugged into it, I only have 3 buttons available for pre-recorded sound. And so that's why on Zoom I have to constantly stop, reassign those buttons, start up again, stop, reassign those buttons, because I can't reassign those buttons while it's recording.
Yeah.
And so anyway,
it's a lot.
This may be boring for people, but the point is, using it on my phone like that, I can just go. So like for, with you sitting here,
yeah,
it's way easier. Well, with the board that Dave has that I'm, toying with and eyeing, it has 9 buttons available to it pre-recorded, or, for pre-recorded audio. But then there's subfolders of those to where you can have up to 36, I think, pre-recorded.
So you could have a category of like audience reaction,
all kinds of
booing,
different stuff.
clapping.
Exactly. I could have all kinds
hooting
of
and
different
hollering.
stuff on there.
Wow.
And that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice to where I wouldn't have to worry about it. And also, I'm not entirely sure. There's some boards out there. I don't know if his is one or not, but there's some boards out there where it can connect via Bluetooth. To where if, let's say, somebody called into the show and they called my phone could be connected to the board via Bluetooth, and then that way it picks up the audio that way. And then I don't have this cord that's attached to it, and I don't know. It's just another connecting option. So
hearing all of this, I'm just impressed that you can do any of this. I'm not an older person by any means.
No.
But I hear all this stuff and I just want to yell, get off my yard. I'm just that person that I have 0 passwords left in me. I don't have a lot of interest in I love technology.
You just got to have the desire to learn it.
I know.
That's what it
and
boils
I used
down
to, and now I'm learning. The older I get, the less desirable it is to learn all the things.
Tell me about it. I see all these people with Instagram Reels and TikToks and all these videos and shit. I don't know how to do any of that crap.
I know, same.
None of that. I mean, I can put together a basic Instagram Reel where it's like a picture and it's got like some music and like maybe a little funny thing going like, whatever, like a little sticker thing, I think they call it.
Yeah.
But aside from, like to take like video.
All the video transitions.
And edit it and have the transitions and this and that and whatever. I have no freaking clue. Like Gervais with the My Monthly Cigar, he does all those videos where it's like him and he's like got the audio track of something else and he's like, I don't know how to do any of that crap. Yeah.
Let me tell you this funny story. So my son doesn't have social media. Mm-hmm. This is a side rant. Before we allow him to get it, he will have to research it and look at the positives. And we're not just these parents. No offense to the parent. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but like we're just.
Oh no.
It's we don't need all of that in our life right now.
At
some point, he's going to get it.
No, I agree 100%.
But he's on. He can watch YouTube, and he loves the YouTube Shorts,
which are basically Instagram Reels and TikToks.
True. Yes. Yeah. So he has created the last week YouTube Shorts of him crushing cans.
Okay.
And the first 5 days, each of those got 1,500 views. It's a
crushing cans.
It's a 10-second commercial. not commercial, 10-second clip of him crushing cans.
Okay.
1,500 views.
I'm telling you. These people that watch... No, there's these videos where, like, there was, like, a little kid, and his whole channel was, like, him opening up toys.
Oh, yeah, the
and
unboxing.
reviewing toys. That kid has his own line of fucking toys now.
I know.
Like, a toy company got in touch with him and is, like, doing, like, branded toys with this kid. I mean, it's just bizarre to me how, like, somebody can just become, like, a pseudo-celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, with this. And I think the bar for that is so low.
Yes.
You know, that, you know, I mean...
But here's the other thing.
It's just bizarre.
Here's the other thing.
Bizarre.
As someone who puts out content twice a week, you know, like, it can be a lot.
Oh, it can dominate your life.
And so I think...
If you let it dominate your life, it can dominate your life.
So I think about people who put out content as their job. You know, I think it's easy for us to poo-poo it, but honestly, it's a lot. The equipment, the setup, the lighting, the time it takes, the number of outtakes you have.
There's times that's all you're thinking about.
Correct. And not everybody, I mean, some people put out a 10-second video and it goes viral, and that's fine. But, like, in terms of the people who are doing it for a living. Which
is why, like, I like, you know, look, that's why with this show, sometimes you get the very structured, we have a guest, and it's, you know, questions and this and that and whatever kind of conversation. And then there's conversation like this, where it's two people just sitting and talking, and hopefully it's interesting to the people who are listening to it. You know, because if I had to put together, you know, two of the super structured, detailed
educational,
every
informative.
single week. First of all, I don't think I could.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough time in my week, you know,
or content
to do that. And that's the other thing. We're talking about fucking dried, rolled up leaves that we're lighting on fire.
Yeah.
You know, there's only so much you can say about that.
I see this podcast
I just don't
as being, we're sitting here talking, having a conversation, and we want to create an environment where the listeners feel like they wish they were sitting here with us.
Mm-hmm. It's the lounge environment.
Exactly.
That's what
Trying to recreate that in Pinky's backyard.
That's exactly it, you know? And so sometimes you get a manufacturer or a lobbyist or a rep or somebody like that stopping in, and that's when you talk about more serious stuff. But then there's other times when you're talking about, you know, dreams where you're dating a seal and, you know,
you're welcome. This quality content, 10 out of 10.
Exactly.
Who's going to not listen to this?
So anyway, why don't we go ahead and get into this now?
We all need to live united, but one must go. Brought to you by United Cigars, makers of La Giana Havana, Abuelo, Red Anchor, Firecracker, and of course, United Cigars. Distributors of Jose Dominguez, Garofalo, Montosa, and Terra Nova, and the highly acclaimed Atabey, Byron, and Bandolero. Buy United, Smoke United, Live United, United Cigars.
Speaking of Terra Nova, we're smoking the Dark Fired Kentucky. What are we thinking about the cigar
I'm not
here?
even through it yet. I've got, a little more than half left.
We're both, I'm maybe slightly ahead of you, but yeah.
And I can already tell you on the Pinky scale, I'd smoke this again tomorrow.
It's a nice, easy smoke.
It is.
I'd say mild plus.
Yes.
It's not quite medium, but it's got a little bit of strength to it.
Yes.
And yeah, a little bit of that kind of smokiness and creaminess.
I think this would be a good cigar for a beginner.
You think?
I do, because it's got enough of a kick and a flavor to not be overwhelming, but enough to
but give them an idea of like what's what.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
I like it.
So, one must go. I recently put it out to the listeners in the Pulpit Parishioners group about giving me some ideas of different one must goes. And so I'm going to go ahead and take one of those. And we'll kind of see where we go. Now, I'm trying to find one that would theoretically prompt enough conversation here. You know what? Let's go with one from, well, I did him the last time. I don't want it constantly. I want to mix it up a little bit here. That one is so not appropriate for you.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Let's go with... Okay. Let's go with listener Trent. And Trent says cups, plates, or bowls.
One must go.
One must go. Cups, plates, or bowls. Which one would you get rid of?
I mean, from practically speaking, plates.
Why is that?
Because
I agree with you.
whatever you eat on a plate, you could ultimately eat in a bowl. But
Yes.
you can't always eat, like, you can't eat ice cream or cereal off a plate.
Well, you could eat ice cream, potentially.
Yeah.
You just got to eat it quick enough that it doesn't melt and go everywhere.
Yeah.
But
No,
but you're right. Cereal, soup,
Yeah,
things of that nature. You're not eating
Chili.
on a plate.
It'd be more difficult.
Yeah.
And cups, I mean, I've my husband makes fun of me. I'll usually have 3 different cups when I'm traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. Cups are vital.
For sure. I mean, so that to me is the given. If you're getting rid of cups, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
We need to have.
I would agree. Plates are the way to go because, like you said, they're very. What you said it perfectly. What you could eat on a plate, you could eat in a bowl. But what you eat in a bowl, you can't necessarily eat on a plate.
True.
But you could eat in a cup.
True.
If you had to get rid of a bowl.
But not in the quantity that you're. I guess it depends on the size.
That's
cup.
true.
Like
Quantity is very important to me. I mean, let's be real. For those of you watching on the YouTube, the angle is not flattering because I can't get the damn tripod up high enough to get an up angle because Joby makes shitty tripods. But anyway, yes, no, quantity is important. I mean, especially with me with my cereal. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about cereal. And they said that growing up, they had a routine. That they lived with their grandparents, and they had a routine. And their grandfather had a schedule. Every Monday was cornflakes. Every Tuesday was Raisin Bran. Every Wednesday was shredded wheat. Every Thursday was grape nuts. On Friday, you could have one of the 4.
I'm buying it.
And then every Saturday was pancakes, and every Sunday was waffles.
That's right up my alley.
But they said that because of that, as an adult, cannot stand pancakes or waffles.
What?
They have pancakes maybe once a year, waffles maybe once every 4 years. And the only one of those cereals that they'll eat now is Grape Nuts. Which I'm like, Grape Nuts is the one
That's
cereal
the one you would have.
I would not eat on the regular because it's like eating fucking gravel. But otherwise...
There has to be more to the story than just the routine of the cereal.
7 or 8 years of eating that
Wow.
every freaking week for breakfast.
That
has
sounds
resulted in
delightful.
You're a very structured person because, like, I'm sitting here going, like, there's so many other great cereals. Why would you limit yourself to, of all cereals, those 4? Like I would immediately cut 3 of them. Like, cornflakes is the only one I would keep. And even cornflakes.
That's borderline.
That's boring, but it's good. But I do love. There are some days that I wake up and I'm like, I need a big bowl of cornflakes in my life.
Really?
It just hits perfectly.
Why cornflakes instead of what's the Tony the Tiger one?
Frosted Flakes.
Why cornflakes instead of frosted flakes?
I love Frosted
all the
Flakes.
way.
No, look,
okay.
if I'm going to have my choice between the two,
but you don't
Frosted
wake up
Flakes.
and be like, "Ooh, I need to have Frosted Flakes." No.
I don't buy Frosted Flakes on the regular. Realistically, it's very rare for me to have Frosted Flakes. I don't know why. It's just one of those cereals that, like, I don't purchase on the regular.
I love Frosted Flakes because, well, they got the sweetness to them, but you have to eat them quickly, or else they get soggy and disgusting.
But I will say this. Only original name brand Frosted Flakes are good.
Yeah. Yes.
Any off-brand Frosted Flakes suck. They get soggy super quicker.
And they've got an aftertaste.
They do have an aftertaste, and the frosting, the like sweetness to them, goes away that quick. It's ridiculous
Yeah.
how quick it goes. Whereas OG Frosted Flakes actually last.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm a cereal connoisseur.
So yeah,
we've established this on the cast.
Yeah, I remember.
Anyway, well, why don't we go ahead and close out the One Must Go before we get back? So,
The One Must Go segment was brought to you by United Cigars. United, we smoke.
I want to make sure I do that.
Okay, close it out.
Give the sponsor their due.
There you
So,
go.
anyway, you were saying?
Well, I was just saying, going back to the original question. I mean, you eating, let's say, frosted flakes
we were
out of
still
a cup.
talking about it.
Sorry.
Oh, damn!
It
I
just,
cut you off early.
Does it work? Yes. Is it ideal? No. So I think the most ideal, given the
Have you
circumstance.
seen those things? Have you seen those things? I've seen it on Amazon, and they tried to sell it to me, and I said, "Fuck that, that's stupid." But it was basically like a travel tumbler, where it has the cereal in there, and then you put the milk in there, and like you can essentially drink your cereal.
No, I would. Die.
And I'm just like, that just doesn't seem.
No.
That seems wrong. Like, have the bowl of cereal.
Yes.
So, what's your favorite cereal? Are you a cereal person?
No.
Oh,
No.
well, okay then.
No. I'm an eggs, bacon, steak.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I had this morning: bacon and eggs.
Oh my god.
I know.
Anyway.
You could get me going on this. Cereal is probably one of the worst foods that actually exists for us to consume.
I love cereal so much.
This is not an indictment of flavor
corn,
or love.
Corn Pops. I love Corn Pops.
Ugh.
What?
No.
What's wrong with Corn Pops? The like little the yellow pop things?
That is a weird texture consistency.
Oh, I love Corn Pops. They are the best.
Those and the honeycomb
I don't
are
like
such
honeycomb.
a weird
I don't like
consistency.
honeycomb, and what is it? What's the one with the frog? Dig 'em. The Smacks.
Honey smack.
Yeah,
honey smacks?
yeah.
Sugar smacks.
Whatever, one or the other. I don't like those either.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the honeycomb with it was a bear, wasn't it?
B.
Or was it a bee?
No, it was a B.
I thought the bee was Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's also that.
Oh, anyway, but I don't like the frog either.
I like cereal.
Yeah.
I can't eat it often. So my favorite, I really like
Rice Krispies.
That's
useless.
why can't I
cereal,
think of it?
but
We've
I
got
love
some
it.
in there now. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
That's really good.
Every once in a while. It's not my favorite.
No.
No. They have a new one out. They've been doing all sorts of different varieties of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Really?
Yeah, there were like churros.
Oh.
And
I love churros.
but yeah, so does Max. That's why I know about this, because like I got a box and he was not the biggest fan, but it wasn't
But like churros he'll eat?
He loves churros. Oh my god. Yeah.
Where does he have occasion to eat churros? Where am I missing out on?
Disney.
Oh yes. Okay, that's where.
Yeah.
When I've had them, I've also had them there.
Because my ex-wife is a cult-carrying member of the Cult of the Mouse.
Oh.
And or card-carrying member, not cult-carrying, card-carrying member of the Cult of the Mouse.
Oh.
And so, she's trying her best to indoctrinate him so that, it's like he'll bow down to the altar of Mickey Mouse.
Well.
But anyway.
There's that. No, we went on vacation in Mexico last March, and I bacon and eggs for breakfast every morning.
Yeah.
But I loaded that plate up with churros every day. It was so
Somebody
good.
told me one time that with the exception of like what you're talking about, bacon, eggs, sausage, although sausage is not, there's a lot of nitrates and, fat and whatnot. But by and large, breakfast is dessert food.
For sure. Oh,
Now,
all
like,
the
when
pastries,
you look at it,
croissant, chocolate-covered croissants,
Pancakes,
yes,
waffles,
syrup,
pastries.
Agreed. Yep.
It's like a meal that is entirely surrounded around the idea of eating dessert first thing when you wake up.
Yep.
And somebody also, I was talking to.
I mean, just look at what you had before we started. You had that cinnamon
I did.
roll.
I had a cinnamon roll.
Dessert.
It was dessert.
That's a dessert.
And Hardee's, you do need a fucking fork. I don't know why your box says no fork required or no fork needed.
No fork needed. That's
needed
stupid.
a fork. It's dumb.
That is a marketing campaign that will not get off the
No,
ground.
no, it
That's
was dumb.
ridiculous to imply you don't need a fork.
But no, I was talking to somebody about breakfast once, and I have weird conversations. But it was interesting because they pointed out to me, and I don't know why. I never considered it. I never thought about it. It's one of those things that you just don't even think about. which is that when you look at the word breakfast, it's break fast.
Yeah.
And so you're breaking your evening fast.
Correct.
With that meal.
Yes.
And so they're like, why do we feel the need to have breakfast foods? Why can't you just get up and eat whatever the hell you want?
See, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I will eat steak. I'll eat turkey wraps. Like, I don't, because I think the options that exist for actual breakfast foods are not great healthy foods. Like, if you're going to break your fast, you need to break it with protein and fat.
Yeah. But instead, I'm going to have a freaking cinnamon roll.
Yeah. 100 grams of straight up sugar. No, thanks. That's what sets our bodies up for the day.
Yeah.
And again, this is no judgment. I do not.
I know.
You know me. I do not spend my life going around telling people how they should live theirs.
Yeah.
I've just decided here's how I'm going to live mine, and it is loads of bacon, lots of eggs. I mean, I go through a dozen eggs every 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
I put them in my salads.
Whereas I don't know if I've gone through a dozen eggs in years.
Wow.
Like, I'm trying to remember. I think I've only bought 1 dozen eggs since I've been living on my own.
Wow.
I mean, realistically, like, yeah. Now I go through milk like crazy because I eat cereal.
Yes.
But
eggs are so good for us.
Yeah.
I do not buy this notion that they are bad
for your
eggs. Cholesterol.
I like eggs a lot, but I don't make them.
So my goal is with breakfast, I want 40 to 60 grams of protein.
Holy cow.
Because that's a lot of protein in a day, let alone just in the morning, because it feels, when I have sugar for breakfast, which I had a bowl of cereal, I'm not anti stuff. I just, most of the time I want to eat the other stuff. When I eat sugar for breakfast, then an hour later I'm like, and then I'm ravenous the whole day. But when I cook, I'll cook, you see my Blackstone over there, I'll cook 3 or 4 pounds of bacon at once, and then sausage occasionally, but mostly bacon, eggs.
Now see, with sausage, like breakfast sausage, I have to have maple syrup with it.
Okay.
I smother my sausage in maple syrup.
I've done that before. It's good.
It's so good.
But see, then I'm back to an hour
later. I
know.
No, I get it.
I
get it. Unless it's in like gravy. Like if you're doing like biscuits and sausage gravy, that's one thing. But
see, I would take biscuits and gravy over cereal any day of the week. I love biscuits and gravy.
Okay.
It's terrible, but I'll eat it.
There's this place, maybe about 20 minutes from my place over in Millstadt called Good Morning. This is totally a local endorsement that if you're not in the St. Louis area, you give 2 shits about it. Unless you're coming to Pulpit Fest, which is September 22nd and 23rd.
There you go.
And if you're coming to Pulpit Fest, September 22nd and 23rd,
I'll be in Chicago.
Really?
Yep. Dang it.
What's in Chicago
Sorry.
that's more fun than Pulpit Fest?
A work conference.
Boo.
I'm not saying it's more fun.
Boo. Where is it?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Anyway, so, September 22nd and 23rd, if you're in the St. Louis area and you want a badass breakfast, go to Good Morning in Millstadt, Illinois. And the biscuits and gravy there, I had them on Sunday.
So good.
So good.
Oh, man.
So good. So good.
So when I do indulge in breakfast, it'll be Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
I'll make pancakes and...
Yeah.
Now the waffles...
Sunday morning is good for, like, indulgent breakfast.
Yes.
That's, like, the breakfast day.
Yes.
Or Saturday morning. But, see, Saturday morning, growing up for me, Saturday morning was, I get up, I run to the kitchen, I get myself a big bowl of some bullshit sugary cereal or something, and I go and park my ass in front of the TV and watch cartoons.
There you go.
And first of all, I think that kids these days are done a disservice by not having Saturday morning cartoons and like that, like we had as when we were kids.
I never thought growing up that we'd live in an environment where we had access to cartoons 24/7. Like they were so limited when we were growing up, and now it's like, oh, you want Cartoon Network 24/7? Here you go.
It was after school, and it was Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
And then the fucking government had to come in and be all like, you got to provide educational programming. And that's when we started getting all the like shitty shows on Saturday mornings that eventually took over and whatnot. I liked it when everything was a half an hour toy commercial.
Right.
You know? It's like, you want freaking Transformers? Bam! Here's Transformers, followed by G.I. Joe and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And, freaking Winnie
Voltron.
the Pooh and Voltron and
Thundercats.
Exactly, right? It was great. Every freaking Saturday morning you had like just action and Disney was mixed in there. DuckTales. Love me some DuckTales, right? But yeah, now it's I don't even know if anybody even does cartoons anymore on Saturday mornings. Other than
They do cartoons, but it's 24/7.
Yeah, other than
Yeah.
Cartoon Network,
Yeah.
which is designed for it, but like
No, I don't think anybody.
I don't think any of the
No.
the alphabet stations, the ABC, the NBC, CBS.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think any of them do.
No, it's all like the dog trainer show and the
and see, and
the
that's all
animal
that
rescue.
that's all that educational shit. It's got that little symbol or whatever. It's like it's all the government is forcing them to provide family friendly educational programs.
Maybe that's why 24/7 cartoons on apps and stuff came out, because they didn't have
Maybe.
they didn't have the Saturday morning
Maybe.
cartoons.
Damn it. Damn it.
Did not get you and I start talking about government.
Government freaking coming in and
Ruining everything.
ruining cartoons. Well, speaking of things to watch, why don't we go ahead and jump into the Villiger Entertainment segment? And it's brought to you by Villiger Cigars. Villiger. I'm half-assing it. At some point, I just gotta commit and make a little thing for this and whatever. But Villiger
Until
Cigars.
then.
Until then, you're gonna get a half-assed Villiger. Guys, if you haven't tried Villiger Cigars, I keep saying it. I don't know what you're waiting for. Go on over to their website. They've got a store locator. You can find Villiger Cigars near you. The Nicaragua, 1888 Nicaragua that they just came out with at PCA. It's in terms of a regular core line release, that one and the La Libertad are probably neck and neck for my favorites from Villiger. But they put out that Villiger de Nicaragua, which is a special edition box press torpedo. That was really, really good. They have the Miami that they just unveiled in the Toro size. You got to get your hands on some Villiger cigars. They're just that good. And if you're lucky enough to be near a TAA store, look for that Villiger 2023 TAA cigar. I had that on the show a couple episodes back, made by Aganor Salif for them, and let me tell you, lights out, amazing cigar. So, Villiger cigars, try it. You'll like them. Anyway, so this is where we talk about what we're watching, and
I have a show to talk about.
oh, really?
We
Okay.
started Succession.
Oh, I love Succession.
You're one of the reasons that we started it.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
really good. What I'm finding is I don't like most of the characters, but my dislike for them is what keeps me coming back.
How far are you?
We are on the second episode of the second season.
Okay. So, yeah, you're in enough that you're at that point.
Yeah.
So the first few episodes, I was like, I don't know why I'm watching this. These people are horrible.
Yes.
They are all unlikable. I don't like anybody. Why am I even wasting my time on this show?
That's how I
don't
felt.
like it. And then as you start to watch it, you're right. It gets to that point that because you have so much dislike for them, at some point you want to continue to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
There is going to be a tipping point where, at least in my opinion, one character kind of becomes likable, and
Okay.
he was my favorite. I'm not going to necessarily say who. I did just say he. So
It's
you
the
can
Culkin
narrow
kid, isn't it?
It is. It is
Okay.
the Culkin kid.
All right.
Roman.
Roman.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. He's fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
But I think out of all of them, he has some sense of morality.
Really?
Some sense. You'll pick up on it.
Okay.
Just wait. You're still early.
Yeah.
So,
I don't like Shiv
oh, God, I can't stand Shiv.
at all.
Cannot stand Shiv.
I mean,
One
which
bit.
has to tell you, the actress that plays her has got to be
Oh,
amazing.
I know, right?
Because I
say the same thing about Tony's sister, Janice, on Sopranos.
Okay.
I can't stand Janice or Tony's mom. God rest her soul. And the fact that both of those actresses I hate them so viscerally that it's like they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're
great
just
acting.
fantastic.
Acting, that's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
There was an episode,
I'm
though.
so the next I'm hoping to God the next time you're on with me, you'll be done with it and we can talk about it because I want to talk about the conclusion of that show with somebody.
Okay. So it's done, right?
It's done.
Okay.
4 seasons, it's done.
Okay.
And I will admit, 4th season probably could have been shortened a little bit, but it was still good.
I really disliked. There was a recent episode. I think it was the end of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a nightclub scene. They spent the whole scene in this like weird underground night. I don't know.
Yeah, was it a bachelor party?
Maybe.
Or something.
It was. I don't know.
I think I know. They had walked through a tunnel and
yes.
I remember that one.
And it really, I can't even really tell you the context of the episode now. But when shows have that one episode that takes place somewhere entirely differently and it's some super shady, weird something, I'm like, there was another show and I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. I felt the same way. I'm like, I don't like these one-off episodes that just, it didn't, like, what are the writers doing? Sitting there like, okay, I'm sure there's some like arcing theme.
See, that's
and
the
there's
thing. A lot of times what they'll do with those is that's where they'll do like character development that takes place through conversation.
Yeah.
So you got to listen to the conversations and whatnot there. But then the other thing that typically that's there for is budgetary purposes. If they have it at one space, they only have to, it keeps the cost down. Because when they go to all kinds of different locations, that's money. So
they got to clear the streets.
Exactly. They do stuff and move equipment here and there and everywhere and whatever else. So if they're doing it at one location, that's why, like, oftentimes, like, sitcoms back,
like Seinfeld. I mean, that was entirely or Friends.
Exactly.
Takes place in just
coffee
a
shop, a couple apartments, maybe an office location or something like that. But by and large, it's like
That's
2
true.
or 3 locations, and they can kind of keep the budget down.
Not something I would have thought about.
Yeah, so that would probably be the case there.
I also don't. I enjoy watching shows, but I don't try to think ahead. I don't try to guess what's going to happen. I don't pick up on some of the subtle undertones. So something will happen. Somebody will have a conversation, and then my husband's like, oh, yeah, that's good. I know where this is going. And I'm like, I don't, just enjoy the show.
Yeah, but you got to at least pay attention enough to know, like, okay, that's relevant to that.
Yeah.
And
he
that
totally
kind of
does.
thing.
He'll watch like an episode early on, and then he'll jump 10 up. He'll like, oh, by the end of the season, such and such did this, and so dies.
What?
Like, why are you not in this show? I just mean in general. He just, he sees it all play out instantly, and I'm like, how? And then it does. I'm like, son of a gun.
I will be shocked if Javier can pick out
what happens
the end of this show.
Okay.
I will be truly surprised if he can see the end of this show coming. I will admit, I started to see it about halfway through season 4.
Okay.
It was in the back of my mind.
Okay.
But it wasn't until the last episode that I was kind of like, all right, that's how this goes
I feel like, so I do kind of like Tom, Shiv's husband.
Oh, Tom and Greg as a, like, couple, like the two of them are hilarious.
Because it's like the only time Tom tries to exert any type of dominance
is with Greg. Yeah. I mean, and like those two just together, they're funny as hell. So like, I like the two of them.
So the fact that it's like this dominant media company and they keep trying to acquire all these other companies.
It's Fox. Let's be real.
See, I think
Rupert
Disney.
Murdoch.
I think Disney.
Nah, really?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's
like
Fox.
an evil Disney.
He reminds me of Logan Roy's Rupert Murdoch. It's Fox. It's like they've got their different companies and whatnot. Now, Fox doesn't have theme parks like they did, but
cruise lines.
True.
See, that's why I think it's more like Disney. If Disney, I'm not saying Disney.
If Disney was a family-owned deal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like all these billion. I mean, Disney has like 8 independently billion-dollar, what am I trying to say here? Identities. 8.
Interesting.
Like Toy Story, that's
Yeah.
a billion-dollar one in and of itself.
Oh, like franchises.
Franchises.
Yeah.
8.
Well, yeah, Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then all their stuff.
It might even be more
obviously.
now. That data point's probably
Yeah.
6 years old. So, but yeah,
They've taken a bit of a hit, though.
yeah, they have.
I mean, my God.
I think their last 8 movies combined have lost like $900 million.
That doesn't surprise me. Indiana Jones came out to a fart in church. The Pixar releases haven't done well. Marvel really hasn't done like spectacular. And I'll even say, as a super big comic book nerd, I still have not seen the latest Ant-Man or the latest Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So, I mean, even I'm burnt out on going and seeing all the like new. I haven't seen the new Indiana Jones yet either. I want to.
Have you seen?
But I haven't yet.
What are the Oppenheimer and Barbie?
Oh my God, yes.
What are they calling it?
Barbieheimer or
Barbenheimer.
Or whatever. Yeah, I haven't.
Are you going to see either of those?
I want to see Oppenheimer. I do, but I'll probably wait for streaming. And in terms of Barbie, if you'd have asked me when it was first announced, oh, there's a Barbie movie with Margot Robbie coming out, I would have been like, absolutely, I have no interest in that whatsoever. I've heard enough
that piques your interest.
That it makes me somewhat interested. I'll probably wait for streaming again on that because I've been told that it's not a kids movie.
See, I've heard that too.
That
it's not apparent to. It's not obvious to people that it's not a kid movie.
Barbie. Why would it not be a kids movie if it's Barbie, for God's sakes?
Yeah.
But it's not a kids movie, and so like I'm fascinated with what they've done with Barbie
to not have it be a kid movie.
Yeah, and I've seen enough previews that I'm kind of like, okay, this is like this like weird like exploration of life kind of thing, and I'm like, I kind of am curious.
Definitely with some feminists.
Oh, I'm sure. It's Barbie,
theme.
Of course there is, you know. I'm
the same.
I'm curious about it, but not enough that I'm going to spend money at the theater for it.
How quickly are things coming to streaming?
I feel like they come relatively quickly. However, the big tentpole movies, the Marvel ones, they're taking their time. Some John Wick 4, I don't think that's even on streaming yet. I think it's, available on like the on demand to where you can rent it at home, but I don't think it's like available just like on a streaming platform to just watch. So like I think that
See, you're a big movie guy. I guess maybe your schedule this last week, like we talked about, was different than usual, but I'm surprised you haven't been out yet to see the Oppenheimer movie.
Yeah. I don't make it to the theater too often.
That surprises me because you were a big movie guy.
Yeah, and I like it. I just prices.
Oh, yeah.
But cost of everything these days, it's just one of those things. I want to make it back to the drive-in, but they haven't had a double feature that I've been interested in. Like they've got, last I looked, it was...
That's what we should do.
What was it? It was Barbie and The Flash. And then what was the other one? Hang on. I actually have this. I can tell you this. Mission Impossible and Transformers was the other double feature. And I would be interested in that one. The only thing is...
Are those new?
Yeah. It's Mission Impossible 7 and...
This is how not culturally
new Transformers flick.
Up to date I am.
But my thing is, like, I'm behind on the Mission Impossible movies. So, like, I kind of want to sit and marathon those. And then Transformers, I just don't know if I care. The Transformer movies do nothing for me.
Is it still Megan Fox and whoever that kid is?
No. They've been gone for a little while, I think. But, I just, like I said, the Transformer movies, they're not defined enough. It's just shit on the screen all over the place. I can't keep track. I'm an old man and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what am I watching? It's just a bunch of freaking technology running around and doing. Like I can't figure what character is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like oh, that's the truck. I at least know that one. But like I just by and large I can't keep up with the Transformers in the movies. So I'm not a big Transformer movie guy. But if they were to do like Mission Impossible and Oppenheimer,
Okay, now
all
you're
day
in.
long, I would go
Yeah.
and see that. And the drive-in's nice because like they have it to where it's like a frequency, like a radio
Yeah.
frequency, localized. So you either play it through your car radio, which the problem with that is you're running your battery on your car, and eventually your battery's going to die. So you got to get a jump before you leave the drive-in at night. And they have like
Is that still how they're broadcasting them?
yeah, they're doing that.
Oh.
Or in my case, I ran to Walmart. I spent I think $90 the last time I did this. I spent $90 and bought like a little boombox. And I just get the radio frequency on that, and I can put that, and I load up the back end of my car with blankets and
Yeah.
pillows, pop the tailgate, and I can just lay on like this mountain of blankets and pillows with my radio there, and I can just watch movies.
Nice. Oh.
That's nice.
This is what I'm glad we talked about this. I want to do this with the kid before school starts.
There
up
you
again.
go.
I don't think he's never been to a drive-in.
It's not bad. And price-wise, I don't think it's horrible. And the thing is, yeah, it might be I don't know what the price is, but you get 2 movies with it.
Right.
So that's not bad. And if you sit back far enough, when they give you the instruction sheet with the radio frequency, they give you the ones for both screens. So if you sit far enough back, you can see both screens.
Wait, there's 2 screens?
Yeah. Well, they've got 4 movies playing, so there's 2 double features going. So
I didn't know that.
So yeah, so if you place your car strategically, all you got to do is just change the radio frequency and you can hear one or the other. So if let's say you want this movie for the first one, but then you want the second movie over here,
Interesting.
you just place your car in such a place and you can flip between the two.
Now I want to find somebody with a truck. Let me borrow their truck for
That would be
tonight.
ideal, I mean, you can do lawn chairs if you want. I mean, ideally, you'd have a truck and you'd put lawn chairs in the bed of the truck, so you're sitting up even higher at that point.
I would totally bring I have one of those zero gravity folding chairs.
See,
I
there
would
you
bring
go.
that and put it in the back of the truck and
Lounge.
yeah.
Yeah. And you can have cigars.
Can you?
You're outside in a field. Who are you going to bother?
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're not like placed, if as long as you're not like packed in with a whole bunch of people, who are you going to bother?
That's true.
Yeah. You can bring all kinds of stuff.
Don't know what you would be referring to there.
Booze. As long as you have a DUI, or not DUI,
whoa,
you're
wow.
going to get a
You're-
DUI
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have a
As long as you have a designated
drive. If you don't have a DD, you're going to get a DUI. Yeah, but anyway. No, I just watched a shit ton of Storybots again this week. I haven't watched anything new. And with this, we're recording on Monday, so I'm going to be playing catch up. I'm like 2 episodes behind on the Righteous Gemstones, so I need to catch up on that.
Okay.
And I did start watching a show called Afterlife. I've watched half of the first episode.
Okay.
Then my kid came out and was like, "This isn't Storybots," and so I had to put Storybots back on. But it's got Ricky Gervais, and it's about this guy whose wife passes away, and it's him like continuing on with life. And I can tell just in the first half of the first episode that there's going to be some really dark humor in it.
Okay.
And
That's
I like
right
that.
up your that's right up your alley.
So I'm going to continue on. It's 3 seasons. I was told seasons 2 and 3 are just really, really good, and that season 1 is good, but seasons 2 and 3 are really good. So I'm gonna do that.
Afterlife?
Afterlife.
I'll have to tell Javier that.
It's on Netflix.
Looking last night at he watches shows on his lunch hour.
Okay.
Totally disconnects from work, watches shows, and so last night he's sitting there flipping for like an hour, and I said, "What are you doing? Like, are you looking for a show?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, but for when I'm at work." So this Afterlife one might.
Vice Principals is also really good.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's on HBO, and it's Danny McBride and Walton Goggins, and they are vice principals at a high school, and the principal retires, and so they're vying for the job. Well, then they bring in somebody outside to be the principal, so these two make it their mission to take down the principal so they can get the job. And holy shit, I mean, It's only 2 seasons. Episodes are half an hour, so you can blow through them pretty quick. But that show goes places that I'm like, I didn't expect it to go, and it was really
Is it
good.
considered a comedy?
Yeah, but I would say there's definitely some like thriller aspects to it because like stuff goes on. Yeah,
all right.
it's a comedy, but stuff goes on.
Okay.
So anyway, okay.
We're getting out of the end here.
I know we're getting down to the end of the cigars. So since we're getting down to the end of the cigars, why don't we now go ahead and do a super fight? Now, for those of you who haven't heard me do a super fight before, basically 2 contestants enter the ring, and they have a couple attributes that are given to them, and you and I are going to debate who wins the fight. So, on one side of the ring, we have a Viking who is afraid of water and is armed with a nail gun. Okay? She's got a nail gun, but he's afraid of water. And he's fighting a giant squid who can read minds. And everything it touches turns to hummus.
Oh, man.
So, who wins that? Now, my thought, first off, is if a Viking is fighting a giant squid, more than likely he's near or on the water.
Right.
So he's probably freaked out just from the start.
Yeah, but the Vikings, you're saying the Vikings freaked out.
Yes.
But the squid's out of water, so he will also be freaking out.
Would he be out of water, though? What if the Viking's on a boat?
Oh, I pictured both of them on the boat.
Oh, see, I'm thinking that, like, it's like the Viking's on a boat and the squid's, like, in the water.
In the water. Okay. That adds a new element.
And the squid can read minds. So
but also, if the squid's in the water, it can't touch the Viking, so there's no way this dude's turning into hummus.
It can, like, get up there. It's a giant squid. It could wrap up the boat, potentially.
But if the Viking's scared of water, I don't even think he would go out on the boat. So now I'm thinking we're in an aquarium.
Okay. Fighting in an aquarium. But he's only got a nail gun.
Right.
And everything that all this squid needs to do is touch the Viking, and the Viking turns to hummus.
Yeah. I think the squid has it.
I think the hummus touch.
That's the killer move. That's the secret weapon.
It is. I mean, because think about it. If the Viking's like, I'm going to dodge right, the squid knows that with the mind reading.
And he can be there waiting with his... Are they tentacles? Do squids have tentacles? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how big is the squid, first of all?
It's a giant squid.
It's a giant squid.
I mean, do you have your phone?
Yeah.
I mean, Google giant squid size.
They're pretty.
Just see what it says. I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure giant squids are pretty giant.
Well, I also don't. I mean, also the mind reading though is critical too.
Well, yeah, because
Vikings they're brutal, they're ruthless.
Yes, but squids and octopuses are very, very smart. There's actually a documentary, and I'm trying to remember where it's at.
59 feet? Giant squids can be 59 feet?
There you go. It's fucking big.
Okay.
It's a big damn squid. But there's a documentary out there somewhere, and I'm trying to remember what it's on. And maybe the listeners will know, but it's about this scientist who was studying octopuses. And octopuses are super freaking smart. Mm-hmm. And basically, he raised this octopus from like itty bitty all the way up to when it dies. And they became friends. Like this octopus recognized him, and they actually they interacted in such a way that it was obvious that they were friends.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting insight into a human animal relationship that you don't really think about,
Yeah.
like you wouldn't think, an octopus, but octopuses are really, really smart. So it makes me wonder, I would assume that a squid which is similar-ish to an octopus, would have a big brain as well.
Have you seen that video? It just shows up on Instagram. I don't know if it's an octopus or a squid. They're like just punches the starfish.
I think it's an octopus. Octopuses can be dicks too. So, yeah. But, all right, so we're going with Giant Squid that can turn
I think so.
things into hummus. All right, I agree with that. I do agree with that.
Sorry, Viking.
Yeah, the Viking strikes
My first
out.
thought was the Viking would have it because they were a survivalist culture.
It's got a nail gun, but I just don't know if a nail gun's enough to take on, the squid.
The hummus squid.
The hummus squid. So, all right. Well, why don't we find out about My Monthly Cigars? This would normally be the time that I give some information about My Monthly Cigars, but I've hired that out this week, so take it away.
My Monthly Cigars is a premium cigar subscription service. It comes in a variety of different size boxes at affordable prices. Use offer code PULPIT and get free shipping on your first box and 20% off any items in the online store at mymonthlycigars.com.
That's offer code PULPIT. Thanks. And guys, don't forget about the fucking good coffee over there. He's got all kinds of fucking good flavors. You're going to want to try them.
She sounds hot.
I'm going to need you to re-record that at some point. I mean, I kind of feel like, the whole intro of this is where I normally would, I haven't done actually a live read of that in quite some time. So,
I mean, I'm getting tons of royalty off of that, so I don't think you should re-record that.
Right. That's exactly it. I probably need you to re-record that for me at some point. I'll have to talk to Nick, see if he's got a.
Did I record that before I came on the show?
I don't know.
Because I feel like people who...
It was a while ago. It was a long while ago.
I feel like people who listen and who probably know me a little better now know how...
silly that is.
Not silly, just totally out of character.
I mean... it's not totally out of character.
Now I would be like, My Monthly Cigars. It is a routine subscription, which is right up my alley. And somebody makes the choices for you, so you don't have to give one thought to what you're going to smoke this time. This is a wonderful idea, and everybody should subscribe.
There we go.
Let someone else do the work for you.
Well, there we
My
go.
Monthly Cigars.
There we go, Nick. I'll just re-record that. It'll be perfect. So, anyway... well, we're on social media. We're on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. We've got the Facebook group, The Cigar Pulpit Parishioners Group. You're going to want to get in on that. All kinds of fun stuff there. We've got the group chat on there that everybody's chiming in on. It's a good time. I'm on Twitter where I don't really do much. I have YouTube where you can watch this. You can see the broken fence. And
are you on Threads?
Okay. So, on my personal account... I got curious and I started it. I haven't done anything with it. I don't know how it works. My feed on it is full of a bunch of bullshit that I don't even follow because apparently I guess they wanted to populate your thread or your news feed, to start with so that people would, because they figured it would take people a while to get going with it. And I'm pretty sure that everybody that I know that I follow, I don't know if any of them have posted anything yet. So... I would be shocked if Threads makes it.
Okay.
I feel like that's...
it had such hype in the first literally 48 to 72 hours.
And
my whole Instagram feed was re-threads and whatever they call it, reposts of thread stuff, and now it's maybe once a week I see.
The user, performance or whatever, I read an article that said it just dropped off a cliff.
Oh.
That, basically people signed up for it, got it, and then just... didn't even go anymore. At
this point, I mean, we're this far into social media platforms, period. What you introduce has to be, revolutionary. It can't be I don't think. The successful ones are going to be, the rival to Twitter or the rival to Instagram.
Well, and I think that was Zuckerberg's whole thought was, people are mad at Elon Musk. I'm going to go ahead and start a rival to Twitter and then, blah, 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 and... all
but
that.
Is it enough to get people to change their ingrained behavior?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And to be honest, from what I've been, I'm not a Twitter guy. I have one, but I'm not a Twitter guy. But the people that I know that are Twitter people, they're like, not really much has changed. I mean, the blue checks, I guess now you have to pay for. But aside from that, like, it really hasn't changed all that much.
Yeah.
So
there's not a compelling reason to leave. I mean,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason you would want to leave is if you're just like so completely bent out of shape by Elon Musk and his politics that maybe you would be like,
and you're going to have
wanna,
those people, but as a percent of the population,
how big is it?
I don't think that's enough of a barrier.
And I don't know if the user base on Twitter was large enough to like really make that matter anyway.
So what are the other socials are there other ones? I mean, I know there's Snapchat. But like, are there?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the one that was like? You had a certain amount of time from the time you got this notification to.
Oh God, I don't know. I know what you're talking.
Snap what you're doing, like immediate whatever.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I never did that one.
I didn't either.
And then there were all the rip off ones. I mean, there's MeWe, which is a rip off of Facebook. The only people I know that uses that is the Cigar Authority, and they were doing that because they were wanting to create a platform outside of Facebook because they were having issues with Facebook. But aside from them, I don't even know anybody that uses MeWe. The Mastodon was the one that I think a lot of people were fleeing Twitter for. But to be honest, I don't think that's gone anywhere either.
Is Snapchat still a thing? Are people snapping?
I think so. I don't. So I don't know. And then what was there was one called Rumble, which was I think a YouTube variant.
Yeah.
But I don't really hear anybody talk about that anymore. TikTok's still around and still a thing. I mean, I think the government still has concerns about it. Yeah, I think the audience is too splintered at this point.
Well, and if a platform's coming out sort of as a direct competitor or something else, if people are leaving that because they think one is too divisive, then having two is going to be very echo chambery. You know what I mean? Like if you're leaving YouTube for Rumble, which I think was more of a conservative answer to,
and that's the problem that
then you're going to have
you're parsing that audience. Yeah. No,
and I don't think that's good for anybody.
Look, you had MySpace, then everyone transitioned to Facebook, but at the time, Facebook was the only real big game in town.
Yes. And the whole concept was novel.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Now now I think, to be honest, I think it's all been around so long. You touched on earlier, we were talking about your son. Social media is such a divisive bullshit thing anymore that I think people are looking for excuses to get away from it, not necessarily
more of it. They don't want 8 more apps on their phone.
Precisely. And I don't blame them. I mean, realistically, I say all the time, if I could get off of it, I would.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, but you got to do what you got to do in my case.
Yes,
at least.
that's true. Yeah.
But,
I quit Facebook back in March of 2020 and have never regretted.
Yeah.
Nope.
I downloaded all my stuff one time with the intention of nuking my Facebook.
See, that's what I need to do. When I quit, I didn't intend for it to be permanent.
Yeah.
I was going on vacation and just wanted to disconnect. Came back and COVID hit, and I thought, well, I'm not going to put all my awesome pictures out there while people are dying from this unknown condition. So I just never, but now I need to go back and I have nothing. I didn't realize for like 8 years, I didn't actually save my pictures. Everything exists.
On Facebook. Yeah. Are you able to at this point?
Yes. I haven't deleted it. I've
just
deactivated it. Like you
see.
can't go on there and search for me. It looks like I don't exist on there.
But
the second I log back in,
you're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even, the other night, Javier had his phone out and an organization I'm a part of posted something about me. And he was like, oh, look at this. This is nice. They didn't have to do that. And so I was like, oh, let me see. He had to bring it up for me. I mean, it's just so, when you haven't been on it in 3.5 years, I was like, I don't even know how to navigate this anymore. It looks.
But it changes so incrementally that if you're on there, it's no big deal. But in your case, it's so drastically different. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then we've got Ask the Boys coming up this Friday. Nick Gervais from My Monthly Cigars is going to be joining me. So, guys, get your calls and questions in to the hotline at area code 863-874-0009. 0000. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 calls, maybe.
We should do Ask Pinky sometime.
We should. Next month.
Pick a date, and
Next month.
we'll book it.
August.
Book it, Dano.
End of August? You busy end of August? Probably.
It depends on all this house stuff. I mean, I've got
yeah,
roofers and contractors coming out. And
Well, okay, so tentatively.
Yeah.
End of August, we'll do Ask Pinky.
Pinky.
And you guys can get your calls and questions in on that. But don't do that now. Wait until after the July Ask the Boys, and then we'll do Ask Pinky from there. So, anyway, well, final thoughts on the Terra Nova Dark Fired Kentucky.
I thank you for allowing me to smoke that. That was really good.
I liked it.
I did
too. It was
too.
good. It was a good first cigar of the day.
Yes.
Had a little bit of strength to it, not a ton. Had the nice kind of creamy notes and everything to go along with it. Burn was great. Smoke production was
fantastic.
Great. I mean, draw was fantastic. I mean,
that's
it was
a solid cigar.
Great cigar. And it comes to us from our friends at United Cigars. So that's great.
High five. Good job, United.
High five. So, all right. Well, Pinky, thank you for taking time out. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for coming over to my house.
Yeah, no problem. I mean,
and bringing a good cigar.
Have equipment. We'll travel.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Have janky equipment if you're talking about your tripod.
Yes.
I just want to get you fired up about that one more time before we
Joby.
close.
I just, and the worst part is I remember spending a little bit more on this tripod thinking
you were going to get the quality.
Like it's nice, it's heavy duty, it'll last a long time, it'll be better than this cheap plastic piece of shit that I had that broke on me and blah blah blah. And nope. It broke. So Joby, your quality control sucks.
Listeners, you are welcome for the third circle around the sun on the Joby disc.
Fucking Joby, I swear. For all I know, it's Jobby. I don't know. It's Joby, but I Joby sounds better. I don't know why. I'm going with Joby. But it's like Toby, but with a J.
Well, Toby from The Office, that was the least favorite character.
Right? Exactly. So, anyway. Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm your girl, Pinky.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. Anyway, well.
That's a great way to start the day.
Isn't it?
It is.
I mean, wake up with Nick. It's a good thing. More people should do that.
I'll pass on that.
I mean, Javier would have a few thoughts, I'm sure. But anyway, all right, guys. Take it easy.
See ya.